Good morning, everybody. It is 7:15 and I'm usually out by now doing a walk. I walk 5 miles every morning. And when I say every morning, I mean Monday through Friday. Um, Today, I'm helping a friend who needs to go and do some in and out surgery today. So I'm going to take her, drop her off, then do my walk while she's having surgery, and then go back and pick her up. So, but normally I'm out the door no later than 7 to get my walk done. It takes me about an hour and 40 minutes to do the 5 miles. So I'll talk a little later, a little bit more about exercise and what I've done and what my plan is moving forward, because I'm going to change things up just a little bit. As you can see, I'm down another pound, which is what I should be doing if I'm on track and staying on track. I should lose a pound every day. And I'm going to talk a little bit more later about, I know yesterday I mentioned snake diet. That's what I'm following, and which is basically a fasting focused lifestyle. So it's not technically a diet, even though it's called the snake diet. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it later. I don't want to get too caught up in, the snake diet and, how it's done and the science behind it and all that. I'm not the expert on that. I just know it works. And and when it comes to the science behind it, you'll just have to, get on YouTube and search for the snake diet and find all Cole's videos and just watch them. I binge watched them for days when I first started. So, if you're interested in it, you'll have to watch his videos. And again, you can find him also on Facebook. He's got the group, the Snake Diet Motivation Group, so you'll have to look for that on Facebook. His name's Cole Robinson. Watch all his videos. Try not to get too caught up in his delivery, because he does curse a lot, he yells a lot. Try not to get caught up in all that. Just block it out and just listen to his message. He's very knowledgeable and smart when it comes to fasting. So I'll talk more about that later. I'm gonna get ready to take my friend, and I'll be back later. I'm probably gonna do my history, my background on how I got started on this a little bit later when I get back from walking. Okay, per usual, my day didn't work out like I had it planned. I took my friend to have her surgery, and for whatever reason, they wouldn't let me leave. I was like her designated driver when she got out of surgery. And usually, you can leave and they'll call you when you need to come back and pick the patient up. And they wouldn't let me leave. If you ever go to a busy restaurant, and they give you the little thing that's going to vibrate when your table's ready, that's what they handed me, told me I couldn't leave. So I had to stay there. I couldn't leave and go get my walk done. So I just stayed there, waited for her, picked her up, took her home. And then when I got home, which was around 10 this morning, then I had to get my walk in, because not getting my walk in is not an option for me. I like doing my walk. I prefer to get it done first thing in the morning when I get up. It just makes my day go better. I have more energy for the day. You know, I'm in a better mood for the day. So I like getting my walk in. I just prefer to get it in first thing in the morning when I have a lot of energy. But nevertheless, I got my walk done, and I wanted to again readdress the whole snake diet thing that I'm following. And again, I'm not going to get detailed in the science of it, but it's basically a fasting focused lifestyle. So you're fasting more than you're eating. A lot of people are like, oh, you're fasting, you're starving yourself. No. And if you watch Cole's videos, you'll see he plainly tells you if you have fat on your body, if you're fat, it's physically impossible for you to starve yourself. Now, if you get down to a good weight and you're nice and lean with hardly any, with a low body fat percentage, then you have to be more careful with the fasting. But as long as you have excess fat on your body, you cannot starve yourself. So, I understand why people might have that perception, and no matter what you tell them, they're going to think you're fasting, that equals you're starving yourself. But anyways, it works for me. It's like the only thing I've ever tried in my life, because I've been heavy most of my life, and it's really the only thing that's ever consistently worked for me. To me, it's like a golden key, because even if I screw up, and like I did for the holidays, and just all hell broke loose, and I really didn't care. I mean, it was a little bit planned to where I was like, you know what, I'm going to take November and December off. But, and I did gain weight. But I wasn't as stressed out about it as I normally would have been or in the past, because I know I have this quote unquote golden key, and now I know how to lose weight for me, for my body. So that's the situation I'm in now. So just, if you think you might be interested, and I mean, I had a lot of weight to lose. I mean, way over 100 pounds I need to lose. I've still got a long way to go. And if you stick with the routines, and there's many different routines, but if you're fat, if you got a lot of fat and you're trying to lose a lot of weight, there's no magic to it. You're just fasting a lot. And then when you do eat, you try to stay as low carb. I try to stay no carb, like eating a lot of meat, some veggie, but, vegetables still have carb in them. And, some vegetables are what I call good carb, because if they have fiber in them, then there's what they call net carbs. So even though the vegetable might have carbs in it, you can subtract away the fiber, and it ends up being not that much carb really, because you have the benefit of the fiber. See, that's why I don't want to get caught up in the science of the snake diet, because I'm not good at explaining it. But the simple thing is, you're fasting, then you're refeeding. When you do refeed, you either stay low carb or no carb. And I do both. It depends how I'm feeling, you know. Sometimes I just eat meat. Sometimes I will have some vegetables. So that's it in a nutshell. You have to, again, watch Cole's videos and he can explain it more in depth, the science of it, you know, like he's crazy knowledgeable about it. And he, you know, it all makes sense when you hear him talk about it. So basically that's what I'm doing to lose weight, is I'm following snake diet. My journey started February 1st, 2017, and that morning I weighed in at 300 pounds. And I just decided, you know, this is not working. I had a lot of health issues, a lot of them which caused me to I couldn't work anymore, ended up on disability. So, you know, I was pretty messed up. So I just gonna let you know, like, the main thing that was giving me most problems was fibromyalgia. I had a crazy amount of pain. They couldn't figure out why I was having so much pain. So they were doing all these things to me, and they had me on pain management, and they just couldn't figure out why I was always in pain. So one doctor says, well, you got some bad disc in your neck. I think that's what the issue is. And he wanted to operate. I held him off for quite a while. And so he would do other things like nerve blocks in my neck, burning nerves and stuff, just trying to control the pain. So I held him off like 3 years. And he just kept swearing, you know, I've tried everything, nothing's working. I really think you need surgery. So unfortunately, I let him do the surgery, which was a cervical fusion, because he was basically saying, I don't know what else to do, nothing's working, I think you need surgery. And so basically he was giving up on me. So of course I felt like, well, my back was against the wall. I was in a lot of pain. He was swearing it has to be those discs in my neck. So I let him do it. Not a good decision. Probably one of the worst decisions in my life. It didn't help anything because that was not the problem. And now, years later, it still causes me problems. My neck and shoulders are always like boulders. They're so tight. About 4 months after that surgery, I saw an orthopedic doctor who then said I had fibromyalgia. So, again, I ended up on disability because I lost my job. You know, everything was bad. I lost my job. I lost where I was living. I lost my truck. I mean, I lost everything. And so, as you might imagine, you know, I did go through pretty significant depression, and which doesn't help. You know, if you've got health issues, it doesn't help. Major anxiety, lots of arthritis. I just turned 60. So I guess that's a normal old people stuff. The more you watch my videos, the more you'll see how much I love to do air quotes. And so, you know, things were pretty rough. on all kinds of medication. Like, some of it was stuff that made me like a zombie. And so, like I say, you know, I have high blood pressure medication, thyroid medication. They claimed I had Hashimoto's disease, which they were claiming my body was attacking my thyroid and all kinds of stuff. I was on all kinds of medication. So, like I say, I woke up that February 1st, weighed in at 300, and basically just said, no, I'm not doing this no more. My neighbors were doing Whole30, losing crazy amounts of weight. So I'm like, I'm going to research that. I think I'm going to start there. And I did. I did the Whole30. And I lost a few pounds, so that was encouraging to me. So then I started doing, I want to say I went from that to paleo. And I followed paleo for a while. Still continued to drop weight. Then every time I tried something, I would eventually end up stalling out. So I would move to something else. After paleo, I went to keto and started losing weight again. And then keto wasn't working for me because I'm a food addict. I mean, I should have probably said that in my first video, but I'm a food addict. And just like any other addiction, when you're once an addict, always an addict. So I am a food addict. So keto allows these keto treats or whatever you want to call them. So, you know, they have all these recipes for making keto treats and snacks and desserts and, you know, so I was like, oh, wow, this is great. But for me, because I'm an addict, a food addict, that just wasn't working for me. So then I went from that to doing intermittent fasting because I was losing weight, but you know, since I had so much weight to lose, I was like wanting it to go faster, just like anybody else who has a whole bunch of weight to lose. You want to lose it overnight. So I was like, I want to try fasting. And so I tried intermittent fasting, and that worked. And I just researching fasting, you know, I came across Cole's videos and his group and whatnot. So, you know, I started watching his videos, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, you know. And because I had been doing intermittent fasting, I thought, oh, I could do that. You know, I could not eat for a day or two. So I started giving it a try. And because it works so well, if you follow it, it's just totally, I don't want to say addicting, but when you're standing on the scale every morning and every single morning you're dropping weight, you know, it's exciting, it's motivating. So I was like, oh yeah, this is the thing for me. And after you've done it a while, you would think, oh my God, aren't you hungry? You know, how could you not eat? After you've done it for a while, you realize, or I realized, a lot of times when I'm hungry, my body's not hungry. I'm hungry up here. So if you can just find the motivation, the determination. My friend always tells me, girl, get your balls out of your purse and use them. And if you can find the balls to just do it, it becomes easier, number one, because you realize you're not hungry, you're not body hungry, you're head hungry. And then on top of that, if you can try to stick with it, the longer you stick with it and the weight's melting off of you, that will, you seeing the weight coming off so quickly, it will keep you motivated. So that's for me. I mean, I shouldn't say you guys because I can only talk for myself, but that's what happened. So it became very easy. I did try, before I got on snake diet, I did try water fasting with just water. And it was fine. I did it. I was fine. And I even did it for 30 days, just nothing but water. And it was fine. I lost a crap load of weight. And snake diet is kind of the same thing, but with snake diet, he has what he likes to call his snake juice, which is basically just salt water. And it's like if you go to the hospital and they hook you up to an IV. The only thing in that IV is water and electrolytes. So that's what the snake juice is just water with salts in it. The salts are the electrolytes. And you drink that through the day. And the electrolytes, the salts, are what keep you from feeling like crap if you decide you want to do a long fast, you know, whether it's 3 days, a week, whatever. As long as you're drinking this snake juice, you won't feel like crap, you know, because your body needs those electrolytes in order to feel good. So you have to drink the snake juice. So even though I did the water thing, I was fine. This made more sense because your body needs electrolytes. And Cole will explain in his videos, you know, why you have to have that snake juice or those electrolytes for your body when you're doing long fast. So just look that up. Look at his videos. But for me, finding snake diet was, like I say, the golden key. So that's where I'm at now. Has it all been puppies and roses? No. I've done pretty good with, you know, sticking to it until these past holidays. I just made a decision to, I don't know, enjoy my holidays. I had one of my grandboys with me. I enjoyed his company. We did whatever he wanted to eat, we ate. So again, that's the whole addict coming in. I probably just, the addict side of me just talked myself into, oh, just take a break. So, and I know that. I know I'm an addict. I know I will always be an addict. I know I will always have this fight on my hands. But that's why I'm so happy that I found snake diet, because it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. And it'll always be there. You know, sometimes I'll be flying high and doing great, and sometimes I'm going to fuck up. And when I do, I know how to get back on track 100%. So I'm really happy I found snake diet. All right, so that being said, I'm looking here. I'm already at 20 minutes, which I said I was going to try not to make my videos too long, but I knew my first ones would be a little bit long because of having to explain everything. I will say, as I started losing weight, because as I said, I started at 300 pounds, and through trying all the different things, I did lose like 120 pounds. And just by losing weight, I was able to come off. And actually, to be honest, I took myself off. You know, it's not like the doctors were like, oh, you're doing so good, let's take you off all your meds. Because if you watch Cole, he doesn't want you on meds. So I took myself off meds. You know, just all that crazy stuff for the anxiety, the depression, the pain. I mean, I was on crazy stuff. So I just took myself off everything, lost that crap load of weight, and never needed it again. My blood pressure normalized. I went to the doctor after losing 100 pounds, told her I'd taken myself off all my meds. So she did blood work, and the blood work came back perfectly. My blood pressure was normal. Thyroid numbers were normal. Everything was normal. So, you know, she was okay, of course, with me not being on meds because all my blood work was normal. Yeah, so I'm happy about that. I don't want to live my life on a bunch of pills and going through every day feeling like a freaking zombie. I don't want to do it. I did it before. So anyways, that's my journey thus far, and now I have to, you know, I'm on part 2 of the journey, had to now get back on track, after screwing up for November and December, and a little bit of January, because that was my birthday. So, but I'm on track now. That's the whole reason behind starting this channel and stuff, is just to vlog it and you know, have something to look back on, to have a record of it, and so I can look at it and be like, oh, you know, get with the program. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video, but you know, I apologize. Like, I'm trying to do these videos and I have zero. I'm doing it on my phone. I have crappy lighting in my apartment. So I apologize. I always try to sit somewhere where I think there's halfway decent lighting. So I'm going to end this video, and then I'm going to, tomorrow, I'm going to talk about, because Friday is February 1st, and I'm going to start a stricter routine with the snake diet, because there's also what he calls dry fasting. And again, if you watch his videos, you'll be able to hear about dry fasting and how it's beneficial. It's very healing, dry fasting. It's hard. I mean, it's hard for me. I can do a day. My max is 2 days. I've tried 3 days dry fasting, and I felt like crap after, for many days after. But I can do a day or 2 days and not, you know, really feel too bad afterwards. So, so I laid out a routine for February, because in February, for the whole month of February, I'm going to follow this routine and try to really kick ass on the weight loss. So tomorrow I'll explain what that routine is going to be, and maybe go into a little bit into exercise, because as I've already said, I do walk 5 miles every morning. But I have, again, I'm switching that up a little bit. So tomorrow I'll talk a little bit about, you know, how I'm switching it up and what my game plan is moving forward as far as exercise, physical activity. Okay, so that's it for today's video. My daughter watched my first video and she said I looked very nervous, which I guess I was. But like I said, you know, as as I do more and more, I'm sure I'll get more comfortable with it. So yeah, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.